Alright everybody, Tim here at Tech Muscle. Today I'm going to be attempting to install Hiren's BootCD on a USB. I have a USB drive right here. I recommend a 3.0. It's faster for transfer. If you don't know, USB 3.0, and make sure to find your USB 3.0 slot if yours has others. And I've already renamed this um, USB that I just plugged in. This is it right here. I just renamed it Hiren's. Okay, they recommend 8 gigabytes of storage for your USB. As you can see here, I have 14.3 gigabytes. And when you get it in your properties, if you want to name your USB, that's how you do it. Okay, you'll click apply. I don't have to because I haven't renamed it. And then okay, rename a USB for you. So we have a clean USB here, ready to format, ready to install Hiren's BootCD. Now, it's not the it's not the most it's not the easiest thing to do if you're not very tech savvy, but it's not that difficult either. That is why I'm making this video. And by the way, if you would like more good content, I'm going to be increasing my IT, computer repair, tech type of stuff for now. And I think I may split the channel into two channels, one for tech and one for fitness. But right now I'm going a lot heavier on the tech. So here we go. We're going to attempt to install Hiren's BootCD. And you can go right to hirensbootcd.org and you can find step-by-step instructions on how to do it. And I've even watched videos. It's not, again, the most simple thing to do because there can be a lot of variables in your computer, as far as, okay, we're going to use the MBR, master boot something, I forget what that stands for exactly, and then there's another type I forget too, but anyways, that's one we're going to choose. Okay, you can follow the steps below, preparing a Rufus utility to boot Hiren's BootCD from a USB flash drive for maximum capacity. Recommend using the MBR as the partition scheme. Okay, I saw that's going to be part of the stuff. FAT32. Okay, I'm not a big fan of FAT32, but this is just the USB drive, so yeah, I can kind of, yeah, I see why. Uh, Large FAT4 USB drives equal or larger to 32, so we don't have that, so we're not going to use the large, we're going to use the regular FAT32. If you desire to manually partition or format your USB flash drive, follow the steps outlined how I can manually da, 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 section in our how-tos page. So we want how I can manually partition format my USB. Okay, and so obviously I can click. Nope, that's not a link. Oh, in our how-tos, and there's the link, and that's where it says how-tos. Uh, in case your USB is corrupted for any reason, attempt the steps provided under the heading. Okay, my USB flash is corrupt, and I bet this is so. It actually, it says I can go here, but it starts to go into the instructions here, and I've watched a video. So we're going to try it. I've never tried this, so if I mess up, we're going to learn together. But at least I have an educated guess. um, so I've already downloaded Hiren's. I've already downloaded Rufus. And I do believe you can use Ventoy to do this also to format for the Hiren's. So I'm going to go here to my downloads. Okay, oh, and I do have Ventoy on here, but I'm going to try with Rufus first. Ventoy seemed a little simpler. Uh, Seemed a little simpler for formatting because you have, like I said, you have to format because this is really an ISO. See, it's a disk image file. It's different. You have to format the USB specially in order to put this on there, just like as if you're putting the Windows ISO, because it's a disk image file. It's kind of like the same thing. It's like a Windows disk image, but it has a lot of I want to say ethical hacking, not necessarily ethical hacking, ethical use of. It could be used to hack somewhat. For instance, your password on a computer. Mm. But so here we go. And according to the videos here, we're going to open Rufus and we're going to say yes. Allow it to do its thing. Do you want to, um, You know, in the video they said no, but I'm going to say yes because I'm a cybersecurity guy. I like my stuff to be updated. Okay, we have, okay, there's our device. All right, let's see what we have just out of curiosity. Boot selection. We're going to boot for a disk or ISO. Yeah, let's go ahead and download this update. Again, I'm a cybersecurity guy. I like having all my updates, all my patches in, and just everything up to scale as to how it should be going. Okay, it says to select the MBR, which it's not even giving me an option. Oh, I think because I have to. All right, all right, all right. Okay, and I believe it said to put BIOS or UEFI. Let's double check that. Pull this away. So, okay, download Rufus. We did that. Hold on, I'll get that back up there. And then when Rufus opens, press Alt E to activate this dual UEFI BIOS mode. So let's try that. Let's see, Alt E. Okay, it didn't do anything on my end, but I pressed it, so at least maybe it did it in the background, and I just can't see it. Just curious there. But okay, so you want the dual UFE, UFE, and it says to do that, press Alt E. So apparently, either it detected that that's what I wanted. I'm not sure. Maybe it detected I had the Hirens. Maybe it detected the name. I'm not sure. Anyways, though, this UFEI BIOS mode enabled is in fact, come on, already there, as we can see. All right. Please note the active must first be set, then select the ISO file, otherwise FAT32 format cannot be selected within Rufus. Otherwise, the FAT32, it is already selected and it's already the default. What do I have to do here? Okay, I think this is where I'm going to select my, this is where it tells me yes. I just saw it, I believe in here. Hang on, I'm gonna get back out of this because I can do this. I'm just gonna minimize this. Okay, so we did that. We have the UEFI BIOS mode activated, then select the ISO file, which is what we were about to do. And let's see, select your device list and choose the HBCD, which stands for Hiren's BootCD, which is the ISO file, by clicking the select button. So that's what we're about to do. I'm double checking for my own self because this is how I like to do stuff. I'm very critical. But also so you guys can see, and I understand you're probably going to be following me step by step. So here we go. There's that. We're going to go back here. And now we are, in fact, we're going to press the select button. Do note this, the drop down's not going to give you anything. You have to press the select button. I just figured that out myself. And now there's what it's telling me right here. That's the Hiren's BootCD download. If you have Windows, this is the file you're going to want from Hiren's BootCD. I'll put the links to both Rufus and Hiren's BootCD in the link or description or comments. I'm not sure which yet. Probably in the description, or I may pin it to the top of the comments. Either one, look in the video. We'll find them. Okay, so we're going to choose here the Hiren's BootCD. Okay. All right, there we go. Now everything it's given me the ability to box is okay. I see. Yep, I can choose between NTFS and FAT32. On a regular PC, I would choose to run my PC off of NTFS. FAT32 is actually an old format, but again, or not format, an old. I can't think exactly the word. It's an older thing on operating systems for I believe 32. Was it 32 gigabyte, something like that? I don't remember exactly. Anyways, it's an older thing, and it doesn't run as well on your PC. You want NTFS enabled. FAT32 is like for older Windows, older computers. Okay, I'm just trying to summarize it by that. Okay, let's see what we do next. Okay, because I think we're pretty close to getting started here. All right, for USB. Now we're not doing that. Equal or larger schemas. Yeah, we didn't have to choose the large because we're not over 32 gigabytes in our USB. And if you are, then follow those instructions right there. Like I said, you can follow those by this URL link right there. Okay, set label in process. Enter an appropriate label for your flash drive in the volume label field, which I've already done, already picked it up. It's Hiren's. I think that's optional. But you can refer to the screenshot below for the settings. Okay, click the start button, and if the warning message is acceptable to you, begin the preparation process by clicking OK. In newer versions of Rufus, please ignore the revoked UFEI bootloader detected warning by clicking OK. That's good to know because that may have been a red flag, as I would have been interpreted as a red flag. Preparation process takes approximately 10 minutes depending on the write speed of your USB flash drive. Like I said, you want a 3.0 flash drive. Be sure you get one because that's going to decrease your wait time. So this is what our screen wants to look like. Okay, this is trivial. Or no, I'm sorry, that's not trivial. Because that's what you want, I believe, in there. Let's see, for the volume, device volume, I don't even care about labels. I know what this is. I believe this is, let's take a look. Let's take a comparison here to what we're supposed to look like. Okay, and I can see they renamed theirs. They just copied basically this or this from somewhere else and pasted it up here. So this is the name of your USB, which I showed you how to change from properties. And again, then I could change it here also. With PCs detectors, usually 2, 3, maybe 4 ways to do things. So here we go. We got our boot section. This matches the select. We pressed it. We have it in MBR. The BIOS, the UEFI. I don't know why I keep putting F in there. But the volume label, here we go, matches. FAT32 default matches. The exact number of bytes matches. Okay. It's okay, showing the advanced options. Click check. Yes, bottom one's unchecked. Yep. Okay, quick format. Sure. Create extended label for icon files. Sure. Check device for bad blocks. I know this is a good device. I'm not going to have to worry about it. And apparently they assume you are not going to either. One pass. Okay, that's okay. If that's how they're saying we do this, that's how we do this. So we are going to go ahead and press start and see what happens. Okay, remember it said we're going to get a warning label? Let's just read it over to be sure it's the same warning label. Detect you've been selected contains a UEFI bootloader which has been revoked that will produce a security violation screen when secure boot is enabled on, on a fully up-to-date UEFI system. Will produce a security violation if you connect this to a non. Okay, so basically what it was saying is to ignore this warning. And this is Hiren's BootCD, so I'm going to ignore this warning, and I am going to play with this on an old laptop before I try it on a customer's. So, all right, warning all data on device, which is my USB, drive D, which I renamed, my 16 gigabyte total, will be destroyed. That means it's going to format this disk. So if you use a USB that has any other information, files, pictures, or anything, you need to take them off that USB, store them somewhere else. You want a blank USB like how I showed you, because otherwise it's going to wipe everything off there, okay? You understand? It's going to format this USB right now. It's going to take everything. I think you guys understand. It's going to take everything off of my USB, my Hiren's USB here, which you saw only has uh, the application that the disc came with. Gosh, I bought this back in 2016, or maybe they just put it on there then. I don't know. Anyways, I don't care because it's designed to do this. It's going to do its thing. So here we go. And you can see that was the only thing on my USB. So I'm good to format it. There's no files that can be lost for me. All right, it deleted the partitions. Partitions are like little blocks you can make on a storage device. I can partition apart for just the OS. I can partition apart just for files, partition apart just for uh, other things. Okay, so now this is my USB, and it's showing what's on my USB. Let me minimize this. Okay, it's still copying the ISO files, so if that pops up, your USB uh, happens to pop up. I don't know, I happen to have mine open, so that's probably why it popped up. But if you see this, just ignore it. Okay, you can minimize it. I could exit out of this. It's not going to hurt anything, but I'm going to minimize it because this is the software that's doing the work right now. And just because I have the window looking into my USB is not going to hurt anything. Okay, as you can see, I'm moving pretty fast for being a 10-minute install. I'm already 5 minutes in. Okay, or I'm sorry, 5% in, 6%. Soon I will be 10%. Okay, now as you're in IT or PC repair tech, often when you're on a job, you're going to run into stuff like this, where it is it's just going to take some time to download, um, and sometimes you're just going to have to sit there and wait. During this time, I may ask a customer, "Hey, do you have anything else that needs to be done?" A lot of times they'll have multiple things. Well, I'm locked out of here. I can't get in here. I need to find these files. I need to have these transferred. I need to have a virus taken off this. And you can be doing that other stuff while you're doing this. Okay. Um, so I guess while I am waiting, I don't have much to do. This is my own PC. It's all up to date. I'm pretty sure my Windows updates. I do have my Windows 11 set, so my toolbar disappears until I pull my mouse down there. I just so you know, I am using OBS Studio. It is a free screen recording studio that you can use to um, record screen stuff like this. You can set your camera. You can set a lot. Well, you can do a lot with it. You can even edit with it, if I'm not mistaken. I do need to get some editing software soon, but that's okay. We're 12%, and honestly, I think I'm just going to cut this off and make a part two because I don't want to bore you guys with this part. Okay, I do have a hotkey set up on my hotkey or shortcut set up on my OBS Studio, so I can just mine is Alt S to stop. It's what I set it at. Um, And you can do that because otherwise, when you start your OBS, once you get it installed and configured, you're going to want to get it to video capture device and the display. So this is my webcam. That's what you're going to want to add here. And then the display capture, so it's capturing your screen also. Okay. And here I can see myself. While you're recording, you're not going to be able to see yourself. You're just going to have to go on faith that it is there. Okay, it is recording, and I'm not going to hit stop recording, so I do believe I can go to my settings. Yes, and I'm not stopping recording. This one was about done, and I'm about to pause anyways. But I wanted to show you guys, hey, why not while it's doing its thing, show you guys how to add a hotkey to OBS Studios. I'll probably do a whole video on how to use OBS Studio. But you're going to go into settings here, and you're going to go down to hotkeys, and you're going to click in the box, and then you're going to manually add it. You're just going to hit Alt and hold Alt and press R, and then it'll put the plus in there for you, and then that's what it is. And then when you want to start recording, you can just they don't have to see the screen, because otherwise you're going to have to I don't want to hover over it even, but you're going to have to go there where it says stop recording and click on it, and then you have to go back into this window, and they see that in your video. Okay, and same way with the start recording. So if you have a hotkey, then you can go back to here where we're at. Okay, we're at 23%, and now when I want to stop recording, I don't have to go back in here. This part's just kind of tech nerdy. Let's keep learning. Uh, but I don't have to go back in here and press stop recording, and everybody sees that on my video. It's a little cleaner. It's a little clearer. Okay, now I've shown you that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to press my hotkey, shortcut key, whatever you call it, which mine, as you saw, was Alt S to stop the recording, and I'm going to stop it right now, and I will see you as soon as this is done in part 2. Alt S. Oh, come on. Alt S. Why is it not stopping the recording? No, it's not working. Did I do? I didn't change it, did I? Almost. Or did I press the wrong key or something? Alt plus S. Well, now it's making me look like a dummy. Alt S. Ding. I don't know. Maybe this is overriding it or keeping it locked on. Well, it worked to start it. That's why you guys didn't see this screen to begin with. The heck isn't it working? Did I not hit apply? That very well may be possible. I may have it set, but I didn't apply it. Okay, so I'm going to click in the box here. Oh, it's applied. Okay. And I don't want to be on the screen when I stop because that defeats the purpose. Am I not hitting Alt? Alt S. Nope, and it's giving me the Windows ding. For some reason, Windows is not liking it. I'm going to have to work on that, figure that out, and see why that's not working. But the Alt R for starting is, again, like you guys could see, I wasn't in that screen. It worked. I don't know. So anyways, I'm going to go back in here now and stop it here. I'm sorry to bore you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and stop recording manually from in here. And I think I'm going to play maybe with this and see why. Oh, you know what? I think I can pause it. I'll just pause it. And then this will be the same video. Okay, Tech Muscle fans, I am back here in the OBS studio. And I want to show you guys it has completely installed the ISO on my USB, and when it gets done it will come back to this screen here where it'll just say ready. So let's go in here and look at the USB and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, there's much more on there. Remember, it just had the original SanDisk stuff, and now I have a lot more stuff on here. Files, a text document. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to go through here, and there's the ICO file. I believe that's the one that it is set. It just is labeled auto run. I'm not about to run it and try and boot over my. I don't think it would boot. I'm not in the BIOS. So now I believe what we're going to do, and I can exit out of this because this is just showing what's inside of my USB. I can go ahead and close out of Rufus. I can go ahead and I can take my USB out. Okay, all that data is on here. And the next video, kind of like a continuing to this, I guess it'll be a part 2, will be then, now that we have Hiren's BootCD on here, the USB has been formatted specifically to be a boot drive, and we've installed the ISO Hiren's BootCD. And again, you can use Rufus to install just the Windows utility. Let me see, I don't know. It's on the Windows website. Uh, let's see. Uh, let's see. Just Google something like Windows ISO download, right? And there's Windows 10. Let's see. Let's just go here and see. Create Windows installation media. There's usually a few options if you go to the Windows website, but I do believe this is where you would go here. Why not? Because I'm going to need that also anyways. Let's check out my download to see exactly what I downloaded. It's a media creation tool. Windows 10 installation tool. Let's see. You can then download and run. Let's see. Yeah. It's not going to do anything. You will first need to have a license to install Windows 10. I'm not going to install Windows 10 over my Windows 11. I'm not going to let it do it, but you then download and run the Windows Creation Media Control or Media Creation Tool. For more information on how to use the control, see the instructions below. All right, we're just going to exit out of that because, yeah, I don't like it messing with my PC. I have Windows 11 all on here, and I don't want to fix my own PC. So then here, you guys can go and look. Um, but let's see. If you're installing Windows 10 on a PC, XP, Vista, whatever, if you need to create a installation media to install Windows 10 on different, using the tool to create installation media, or ISO file on a different PC, select download tool, run, upgrade PC now, next. Well, this is just a whole nother thing that I'm going to have to run through myself, and I'll probably do it in another video. But you can also just install the Windows, like there, the Windows 10 ISO file, and then you can reinstall Windows 10. But if you do that, just know it's going to wipe out all the information that's on your, um, and there's the one for Windows 11. Okay, let's see here. This is the one I would want if I was going to. Like I said, I remember I told you there were several of them. Okay, there's one that's a Kickstarter, and there's, see, okay, here we go. Now we're getting into it. See, there's an installation assistant, there's a create Windows installation media, and there's your ICO. There it is. That's what I was actually looking for to show you. And now you have a bootable Windows. You can boot Windows off of your flash drive. And like I said, we're going to be doing another video going into that, and then how you're going to start that is on reboot or fresh startup. You're just going to go into the BIOS. We're going to go over that, and I'm going to do it on an old PC. Um, the same kind of process as if I was going to reset the password from the Hiren's BootCD. And like I said, just note that Hiren's BootCD is not the same type of ISO. It is a Windows ISO, but it's a Windows ISO with tools. Like I said, you can reset passwords. You can do all kinds of stuff to Windows that Windows is not capable of by itself. And an ISO is basically for reinstalling Windows or getting it to reinstall. See, if you right here, if you want to perform, well, no, this is the installation media, a reinstall or a clean reinstall, then this is what you would use. But the ISO, let's see, is for if they want to create, yeah, do that. Use, okay, and it kind of does the same thing. It uses your product key, which I do believe one of these, if you reinstall, you have to be able to go into CMD and get your Windows code, your installation code, the one you originally put in to install it. You'll have to get that to reinstall the disk image. I do believe this is a little, this is, I've learned about it, but this is the first time I've actually done it hands on. So we're going from there. But just note though, again, the ISO is different than the Windows installation media, which you can use to reinstall or clean install Windows 11. Um, they're very similar. I do believe both of them can be used for the same thing. And from what I understand, even the Hirens will do all of that uh, and then some. Hirens is much more powerful than just the ISO. Um, but again, if you don't want that, and that's just the way you're doing it, you just want a clean reinstall of Windows, you're going to want to use an ISO, I believe. But we're going to, like I said, again, we're going to get more into that later. I'm going to test now that my hotkey works. We'll see. I didn't change anything, but I thought maybe Rufus had it disabled because running other software on PCs can disable features of other software. So let's see if this works. I'll see you in the next video. If not, I'm going to have to go in and manually do it and find out why in the world that's not working.